Hello, this is Deborah Yao with Black Education TV. I haven't been out in the garden for a while to do a video, but I decided to come out this morning. It's really nice. It's still 6 something in the morning, and it's quiet, very quiet. They've been working on a house across the street over there, so sometimes they'll have music playing and where you can hear the nail guns and all the saws and things. So sometimes I'll come in and go in the trailer, but you can still hear some of the noise. But nonetheless, I decided to come out today and just show. This is a project that we talked about early in the planting season, where we put the cattle panels over like an archway, and the beans literally climbed all over this thing, and it had the effect that we were expecting. And you can see some of the beans hanging here. These are yard longs. Okay. This is a good size right here to take them off. This one right here is too small. Okay, but they can get a lot longer. As you see, here's one that is a lot longer. So there are beans all over this thing. They've climbed even down, even to the ground here. Now this one right here, that little patch of beans right there are really, really long. When they get like that, I typically like to save them for seed. Here's one that I would say is probably perfect. Some call these yard longs, and they also call them asparagus beans, but they are very good sauteed in oil, the oil of your choice. We usually use olive oil or peanut oil, and then you put the seasonings of your choice as well. I'm going to go under here. I went under yesterday, and it's not scary at all. First we thought we were going to see spider webs, but we didn't. So there's a lot of beans hanging there. They're just kind of in various places hanging. We picked a lot of them yesterday to eat, but there are still plenty left. You see they're even going down into the little thing there, to the end caps of the cinder block. And they just hang. They continue to grow. As long as you have flowers like that one there, that means it's still producing. But this was a fun project for us. The children loved the way it turned out. Coming on the other side here, there's a whole patch of them there. Well, this plant literally just, I'm gonna say, showed out. It really showed out. Really showed out there. Those are some of our peppers. The green peppers turned red, of course. Just wanted to come and show this. Those are I'm gonna step through here. Marigolds that we planted around as well. They've gotten really bushy, and as you see, some of them are falling over. A whole bunch of beans here. Like I said, they're all over the plant. All over the plant. But anyway, I was observing nature. That's why I'm out here. And I just kind of wanted to have a few words about something that I observed with these ducks over here. I was looking at them from the window upstairs, and I kind of wanted to show something. It is very normal and natural to want to hang with and protect what looks like you. Very normal, and I really wish people would get that. You see those 4 right there? They were born together. He was born a couple of years before them, and then that one right there, he was born He's about 8 years old, okay? But what I wanted to observe, and which I talked about this before, but I want to bring a point out because of a point that was made on one of my posts. That old duck right there, when they were younger, we first introduced them to the yard, he attacked them, okay? And that duck right there, who is younger than this duck but older than those ducks, protected them. He protected them to the point where he told the old fella who's in charge now. He kind of beat him up a little bit, you know, and to tell him to leave these alone. And so it's very normal to want to protect what looks like you, and that's the position we find ourselves in as the children of Yah. We find ourselves in that position, and for others, they believe it to be okay for them to protect what looks like them, but then they kind of draw the line or have an issue when we want to protect our people. But even in nature, it's very normal. It's a very normal thing to want to protect your own. So, when we come and we talk about what is happening in this world, and we deal with the issues of what's happening to our people and who are doing these things to our people, sometimes it's our own people doing things to each other, but then other times it's these other nations that do things to us. Sometimes it's the other nations, you see. And so we try to be fair when it comes to covering certain stories. Like I had mentioned to one of our listeners, that we already know that the judgment of the Most High Yah upon our people is playing out. But he also has a judgment for these other nations as well. They have been wicked towards our people, and they continue to be. And when we acknowledge that Yah's judgment is up on them too, there's no point in getting upset or angry. There's no point in it, because everyone has to reap what they have sown. Everyone. And so it is very clear that the judgment of Yah is upon the whole world, because judgment begins with the house of Yah, meaning he starts with his own first, and then he spreads that judgment around to others as well. As his word has spoken, he says that he is going to repay people for the sins that they have committed, even the sins of their forefathers, because they won't repent. Meaning that many won't even acknowledge the sins of their forefathers, or they'll sweep it under the rug and say that the way we're treating you right now is because of present day issues, but it has nothing to do with how we have treated you historically as a people. You see, in other words, they want to detach themselves from the sins of their forefathers and pretend that the reason why blacks are going through things in today's time is because we deserve it somehow. But I showed the ducks and I explained the story because the other ducks, they all look alike and they all hang together, you see. And the older duck doesn't look like them. And the duck that does look like them, who's older, felt the need to protect them, you see. And so that is how we feel as well. We feel some kind of way when our people are mistreated. And as this particular listener pointed out, they feel some kind of way too. And so we dialogued about that briefly, that yes, you all may feel that way, but we feel that way as well. We feel that way as well. And it's not fair to say that it's okay for you all to feel that way, in which the person didn't say that. But some actually feel that we have no right to express any type of concern for our own people, while at the same time they're defending and they're justifying the wrong of their own people and doing all kinds of things, you see. This basil is very, very aromatic, very good. It has the morning dew on it and kind of wet. And this is like really good at this stage. It's time for us to take a lot of that off and dehydrate it. You can even make basil paste and freeze it. Some people freeze it in ice cubes, you see. I'm just going to eat this one. If you ever need a breath mint in the morning, fresh basil is great for that. We used to plant basil in several areas, but it's not even necessary anymore, because if you put it in one area, as you see, it gives you an abundance of basil. Just a ton of basil, you see. And it's even seeding up to let you know, hey, for the next season, you've already got your seeds. You don't even have to buy. You just let this dry out, and you will have yourself more seeds for the next season. But back to the issue of what I was speaking about, the need to protect your own. One thing I will not do is I will not protect and justify deeds of my people that are unrighteous or just wicked, just plain wicked. I will not do that. We have our fair share of lawless individuals. And when I speak lawless, I'm talking about the laws of man and the laws of the Most High. We have our fair share of people who just don't care about laws. That they don't care about commandments, and I don't justify those things. What I'm speaking on are people who are being killed for no reason, people who are being mistreated and abused by a system that has done that historically. And although I know why it is happening, it still doesn't mean that I have to feel good about it. It simply means that I pray that our people will get it together so the Most High can end this punishment. That is what I pray, you see. But most people are not fair in this world, especially our oppressors. They are not fair. They don't think fair. They have a justification for the wrongdoing that they do to others. And in many cases, they will even fabricate evidence in certain situations to have the court of public opinion to sway in their direction, you see. But I'm not going to be out here too long. The animals are starting to make noise now. The dog. It's okay though. It's okay. But I didn't really intend on being out here that long. I was just looking at those ducks from up yonder, and I wanted to come and say something about them protecting each other. And then I also wanted to show the result of the yard-long bean garden, how it turned out so nice. Yes, it turned out really, really nice. Okay, so I am done for this particular video. And with that, I will say shalom. Look at the sunlight as it sparkles on the water right there. You can see the little glistening right there. Just wanted to show that for a minute. The little duckies walking back around. That's their little area right there. They're completely blocked into that area. From time to time, the old duck will fly out and get into some mischief. He likes to mess with the chickens, and the other fowls, he likes to mess with them, fight them. But that is their area, and so that's why they're over there. We put the ball in the water because they like to play with it. I remember our goose, Sylvester, before he died, or should I say before he was killed. He would just be on top of that ball, just having such a good time. It would be so funny and cute to watch. But anyway, family, as I said, I am out. Shalom, and enjoy the rest of your day.